You're thinking about moving to Long Island, there's one thing that's going to hit you very quickly, and that's property taxes. And honestly, I don't think people fully understand how important property taxes are until they actually start looking at houses. Because you'll see a home online and you'll think, wow, this is actually something that's within my budget. And then you look at the taxes, and suddenly the monthly payment changes dramatically. And this becomes one of the biggest debates on Long Island. It's something that people are talking about constantly in all the supermarkets. Nassau County versus Suffolk County property taxes. So in this video, I want to break down the brutal truth about property taxes on Long Island, the real differences between Nassau and Suffolk, and what buyers need to understand before they accidentally buy more house than they can comfortably afford. Because I've seen taxes completely change buyers' decisions countless times. So let's start with the first thing that people need to understand, which is that property taxes on Long Island are high, okay? Period. And if you're relocating from another part of the country, this can be a massive shock to you, especially buyers who are moving from states with lower overall carrying costs. Now, obviously, taxes vary dramatically depending on the exact town that you choose, the village and property, but Long Island overall is known for high property taxes. And that's just something that's just a reality, right? Now, when it comes to Nassau County versus Suffolk County, there's a general pattern that most buyers notice pretty quickly, and that is that Nassau County often has higher home prices and taxes. Suffolk County usually gives buyers more house and more land for the money overall, but taxes can still absolutely be pretty significant there too. And honestly, this is where buyers sometimes get very confused. They assumed moving to Suffolk County automatically means low taxes, and that's not necessarily the case. There are plenty of Suffolk homes with very high tax bills as well. Now, generally speaking, Nassau County tends to feel more expensive overall because of the combination of higher home prices, higher density, closer proximity to the city, and intense buyer demand. Places like Garden City, Great Neck, Roslyn, Syosset, buyers looking in those areas are often dealing with serious carrying costs. And honestly, some buyers get, sticker shock very quickly, especially city buyers who originally focused mostly on purchase price. Now, Suffolk County is interesting because buyers often move there specifically to get more value, right? They want to get more space, they want to get bigger properties, they want to get more breathing room. And in many cases, buyers absolutely do get significantly more house for the money compared to Nassau County. But, the catch is sometimes the taxes will still follow them. And this is why I always tell buyers, do not just focus on the list price, focus on the total monthly payment, because taxes can completely change affordability. And this is something that I've seen happen very often. I've seen buyers qualify for a certain purchase price, and then they realize that taxes push the monthly payment way beyond what they're comfortable with. Now, another thing people don't realize is how widely taxes can vary between towns, because two homes with similar prices can have completely different tax bills. That surprises people all the time. And honestly, some buyers don't even realize that villages can affect taxes too, depending on where they buy. Another thing that buyers should understand is why Long Island taxes are so high in the first place. A large portion of property taxes goes towards local services and schools, and this becomes part of the larger Long Island cost of living conversation as a whole. Now, obviously, everybody has different opinions about taxes, but from a buyer perspective, what matters most is understanding the actual monthly impact before you buy, because taxes are not, some little side expense. On Long Island, they are a major part of your overall cost. Another thing that buyers underestimate is future affordability. So it's easy to stretch your budget emotionally when you fall in love with a house. And honestly, I see this happen constantly. People think to themselves, well, we'll figure it out. But high taxes combined with mortgage payments, with utilities, with maintenance, with the commuting costs, all of these things can add up very quickly, especially for first-time suburban buyers who are moving out from New York City apartments. Now, with all of that said, there's a reason people still buy on Long Island despite the taxes. And really what it comes down to is lifestyle. People are paying for the extra space. They're paying for the suburban life. They're paying for also having access to the city. They're paying for beaches, the waterfront lifestyle, strong demand areas, and overall just the quality of life. And that's really what this comes down to. Another thing that's important to understand is that sometimes buyers focus too much on taxes and ignore the lifestyle side of things completely. And honestly, that can be a big mistake too, because I've seen buyers move much further east purely to lower their monthly costs. Then they end up dreading the commute and they end up hating the daily routine of going into the city to go to work. So there has to be that balance. And the brutal truth about Nassau versus Suffolk property taxes is that neither county is cheap. There's nothing cheap on Long Island, to be completely honest. Nassau usually means higher prices and higher costs overall. Suffolk often gives buyers more space and potentially more value, but taxes can absolutely still be substantial depending on the area. The smartest buyers are the ones who focus on a total lifestyle affordability, not just the house price, because the goal isn't just buying the house. The goal is comfortably living in it long term. So if you're thinking about making that move to Long Island and you want help understanding which towns fit your budget realistically, including taxes, monthly costs, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to guide you in the process. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you have a great day.